Yes, sir. I am connected. Dr. Pradeep, sir. Hello. Hello.
हेलो हाँ मुकेश जी।
Yes, sir. I am connected.
यस यस यस, आपका फोन नहीं लग रहा है आज।
Okay. Okay. Shall I call you, sir?
नो नो नो, इट्स ओके,
Okay.
नॉर्मली इज हियर।
Yeah.
So what will be the schedule means?
We'll start at 1:30, sir, and guests will join in between. I mean, so they will be joining 10 or 15 minutes later, but we will start at 1:30. We can start.
Okay, okay.
Right. Right.
So in the first session in the morning, how many candidates were there?
Sir, there were around 100.
100. Okay.
Right. So,
Okay. So I'll be posting in the group. Let us see how many of faculty members will join. I have talked to VC sir. He said that he will join. But
okay.
I don't know regarding Alex sir or Chancellor sir.
Fine, sir. Fine.
So you can at the time, if you see them, then you can call. Otherwise,
Right.
VC sir will be there. Accordingly, you can call him.
Oh, absolutely fine, sir.
Okay.
Right.
And you will take the vote of thanks later on.
Right. Right, sir.
Okay. Okay.
I will be the moderator as well as I will
Okay. Okay.
give vote of thanks.
So okay. So at 1:30 we will start, right?
Sure, sir. Sure.
Oh, oh. And when you will be giving the certificates to all the resource persons?
Sir, yeah, sir. Along with that kit, we will post it.
Okay, so you give the message today when you will be posting the vote of thanks. Then at that time you inform that all the means resource person will be provided the certificate of appreciation.
Right. Right.
That you can do. Okay.
Okay. Dear participants, thank you so much for joining this valedictory session. We will be starting this valedictory session shortly. Thank you for all of you for joining and taking out your time to join this valedictory session. We'll be starting in a short while. Thank you all of you for your presence here. I could see our Honorable Vice Chancellor sir has also joined. Welcome, sir. Am I audible to you?
Yes, you're audible, but am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are absolutely audible.
Great, great, great. I'm having some issues with the camera. Just allow me a minute.
Sure, sir. Sure. I think, sir, we could start now because the guest of honor, Dr. A.K. Saini, has already joined, and the chief guest have given me word that he will be joining in 10 to 15 minutes. So he has asked us to continue with the program, and he will join in between. Dr. Pradeep, sir, with your permission, shall we start then?
Yeah, Dr. Mukesh, I hope it's time.
Uh,
You kindly start.
Right, right. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your permission. So, good afternoon to all the dignitaries and participants present here. On behalf of University of Engineering and Management, I, Dr. Mukesh Yadav, FDP convener, welcome you all in the valedictory session of 7 days faculty development program entitled Holistic Development and Outcome-Based Education in the Light of National Education Policy 2020. There is a saying that all is well if it ends well. And we are lucky that in this closing ceremony of 7 days FDP, we have amongst us Honorable Chief Guest Shri Mukesh Kumar Meena ji, Guest of Honor Professor Arun Kumar Saini ji, Professor Dr. Satyajit Chakravarti, Honorable Chancellor UEM Jaipur, Professor Dr. Satyajit Chakravarti, Honorable Pro Vice Chancellor UEM Jaipur, Professor Dr. Vishwajoy Chatterjee, Honorable Vice Chancellor UEM Jaipur, Professor Dr. Pradeep Sharma, Registrar UEM Jaipur, all HODs of UEM Jaipur, faculty members from UEM Jaipur, and academicians from all over India. I once again welcome you all and thank you for being the part of this valedictory session of Faculty Development Program. At the very onset, I would like to invite Professor Dr. Pradeep Sharma, sir, Registrar, UEM Jaipur, to welcome the guests and dignitaries. Over to you, Professor Dr. Pradeep Sharma, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Mukesh. I hope I am audible.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Okay. So on behalf of University of Engineering and Management, Jaipur, I am very much thankful to all the participants for attending this 7 days workshop, 7 days FDP, and you can say a learning opportunity, a learning platform where all of us have been given some information, valuable information regarding the NEP 2020, how we can implement it, how we can see that holistic development and outcome-based education is served in our institutions, in all higher education institutions, and as a teacher, how we can be the part of this process, which is very much, you can say, important as far as crucial for the students and for the enrollments of the students in our institutions. In the next 5 to 10 years, all of you can understand that NEP 2020 is going to play a major role in the development of skillful youth for our country. And definitely, all of you must agree that last 6 to 7 days, including today, were the extraordinary day as far as the learning is concerned. All the topics related to holistic development and outcome-based education, day by day, enriched us towards a better person, towards a better implementer, towards a better teacher, because all the teachers, and you can understand the teachers, starting from the first day, we have heard, we have listened to them, and all the teachers had played a major role to improve us as a better person to implement NEP 2020. I have attended most of the sessions, starting from day 1, where the professional development in light of NEP, day 2 for human values and professional ethics, day 3 outcome-based education in time with in tune with the NEP, and day 4 innovative trends in research. 5th day was universal human values and soft skills for 21st century, and day 6 is life and character skills. Today we had student mentoring and academic integrity in the morning session. You can understand that all these topics are of much importance when we are going to see the light of NEP 2020 in the next 5 to 10 years. And definitely as a teacher, we are on a, you can say, on an important step where we have to take the decision, we will try to implement it. And definitely our institution will be much more beneficial after this faculty development program, because all of you will be the ambassador of this knowledge, ambassador of this learning, and definitely will spread the light of this FDP towards your students, towards your institutions. Today, our chief guest, our guest of honor, Shri Mukesh Kumar Meena ji, Deputy Commissioner of Jaipur Development Authority, and Professor Dr. Arun Kumar Saini ji, Associate Dean of Icfai Tech, Jaipur. I welcome you all, sir, over here, and definitely we will learn a lot by hearing you, listening you, and your experience. But one thing I want to convey to all the participants over here who are since last 6 days were part of this faculty development program continuously, that you have learned, you have been participated in a wonderful development program, faculty development program. We had a wonderful interaction with all the resource person. I'm very much thankful to all the resource person who have given the insight of NEP 2020 to enlighten us in a more better way. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Dr. Mukesh. It's over to you.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot for your encouraging words and welcoming our esteemed guests. Thank you so much, sir. Moving ahead, On this pleasant day of valedictory session, I would take this privilege to invite our young, dynamic, and vibrant Professor Dr. Vishwajoy Chatterjee, Honorable Vice Chancellor, UEM Jaipur, to address the august audience. Over to you, Professor Dr. Vishwajoy Chatterjee, sir.
I hope I am audible.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. It was really an engrossing session and 7 days FDP. It was really very well conducted. And I would really like to thank all the professors, all the teachers who were associated with this and organized this. So many dignitaries were invited over here. And I'm sure the participants have gathered a lot of information and which can be integrated into knowledge, and we can work accordingly. It is very, very important that the educators are gathering knowledge or information on a daily basis. And it is then only possible that the knowledge is then propagated to the students and the future of the country is made secure. In fact, NEP 2020 talks a lot about this educators program, teaching the educators. And I would like to very quickly summarize, as I've heard over the 7 days, that the highlights of NEP are multiple entry and exit options, single regulator for higher education institutes, lesser stakes with the board exams, common entrance exams for the universities. And if you extend it a little bit broader, then the content, curriculum, and pedagogy changes. All this leads to holistic education and outcome-based education, which helps the student grow both mentally and in terms of knowledge. And also they are able to perform when they are out to the industry. They can develop something. The content, curriculum, and pedagogy has been talked about, which mainly focuses on the entry and exit options. And it is made with the focus that the GER increases with a target to 100%. Definitely that should be the target, cross enrollment ratio. So the conventional 10+2 school curricula, as you all know, has been changed to 5+3 plus 3 plus 4. Technology to be integrated with learning and teaching process. So the body called NEET, National Education Alliance for Technology, has been formed, which aims to use artificial intelligence to personalize learning experience depending on learners' requirement. Assessment is very important. So the body called PARAK, that is performance assessment, review and analysis of knowledge for holistic development. This is a national assessment center which has been proposed to set up to keep a regular check on the education system. In fact, all our educational institutes, we the educational institutes, are now inputting data to the PARAK so that there is a continuous assessment on the performance, review and analysis of knowledge, so that we have outcome-based education and we have holistic development. Mother tongue has been talked about as a medium of instruction. Science, arts, and commerce. The distinct differences between these three are blurring out. And in the long term, it indicates that a student having maybe physics, chemistry, and history, or maybe maths, physics, and history as his subjects should be allowed to study engineering, or as a matter of fact, any other domain he is allowed to go. So these are the factors which affects NEP, which affects the holistic development, which affects outcome-based education. And we are, as I said in the opening ceremony also, that we are now in a phase where we are quantifying the outcome-based education. People are saying that, yes, each and every teacher says that he or she imparts outcome-based education. But the question is that, is it measurable? Can you quantify it? That yes, the outcome-based education that I have given amounts to 76 marks, amounts to 80 marks. A quantification of the outcome-based education is possible, and we are focusing on it. So these are the things. I'm thankful to all the organizers again, all the teachers again. I'm thankful to all the participants for participating in this faculty development program. And I'm sure that we have taken a big step forward towards the implementation of NEP 2020 and implementing holistic and outcome-based education to a much larger extent. Thank you so much. Thanks to the registrar of the university, dean, all teachers, HODs, and especially Dr. Mukesh. I know that you had a big role to play in this. Thank you so much. And thanks to all the participants. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for motivating us and inspiring us. And it's always a privilege to listen to you. Thank you so much, sir. Now moving ahead, I would beg your pardon saying that Professor Dr. Satyajit Chakravarti, sir, our Chancellor as well as Pro-Chancellor, sir, they because of some reasons they are not able to attend this valedictory session, but we are always thankful to them for their inspiration, for being the torch bearer, and for making this FDP possible. So thank you to our Chancellor, sir, and Pro Vice Chancellor, sir, Professor Dr. Satyajit Chakravarti, for being such a support to us. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Now, moving ahead, okay, before I move ahead, I just want to inform that Shri Mukesh Kumar Meena ji, who is the chief guest of this session, has also joined us. Welcome, sir, and thank you for being a part of this session. Thank you so much, sir. Being assigned the responsibility of FDP convener, I hereby present the FDP report before all the esteemed guests, dignitaries, and all the participants. So I am going to read out this FDP report. So once again, very good afternoon to all the dignitaries present in this valedictory session of 7 days faculty development program. Before I present this FDP report, I would like to sincerely thank our Honorable Chancellor, sir, Professor Dr. Satyajit Chakravarti, sir, Honorable Pro Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. Satyajit Chakravarti, for being the guiding force behind this FDP. My heartfelt thanks goes to the Vice Chancellor, sir, UEM Jaipur, Professor Dr. Vishwajoy Chatterjee, for his mentorship, and many thanks to our very own Registrar, sir, UEM Jaipur, Professor Dr. Pradeep Kumar Sharma, sir, who is the backbone for such academic activities and for this FDP as well. Thank you, sir, for not only directing but executing and standing behind us during the whole FDP. Thank you for giving Department of Basic Science and Humanities the opportunity to organize this FDP. This 1 week FDP, organized from 13 June till today, was organized to bridge the gap between modern education system and concerns for holistic development of our faculty and students. Therefore, the theme of the FDP was thoughtfully decided to be holistic development and outcome-based education in the light of NEP 2020. The FDP received overwhelming response for over 300 participants from all over, joining from all over India. 22 eminent speakers and academicians from top-notch institutions of India enriched the program and satiated the knowledge appetite of professionals through 12 sessions held over a period of 7 days. The FDP program began on 13 June in the presence and blessings of Dr. Gordhanlal Sharma ji, Deputy Commissioner Greater Jaipur, and Professor Neeraj Gupta, Dean School of Architecture, Central University of Rajasthan, and all other university officials. Each day of the FDP was divided in themes to cater the need of delivering all possible aspects of holistic development. Sub-themes were also divided into further elaborated topics and were very effectively taken by our expert speakers. The theme of the first day was professional development, and the eminent speaker of the day was Professor Dr. Ashulekha Gupta, Graphic Era University, Dehradun. The theme of the second day was human values and professional ethics, and the eminent speakers of the day were Professor Dr. N.P. Kaushik, former Vice Chancellor, RTU Kota, and Professor H.D. Charan, sir, former Vice Chancellor and Chairman of Universal Human Values Committee, AICT. The theme of the third day was outcome-based education, and the session speakers of the day were Professor Dr. Rishi Pal, Shri Vishwakarma Skill University, and Ms. Arvinder Kaur, Master Coach and Lead of SGT University, Gurugram. The theme of the fourth day was Trend in Research, and the session speakers of the day were Professor Dr. Hemant Sharma, Pro Vice Chancellor, GNA University Punjab, and Dr. Anuja Pandey, All India Management Association, Delhi. The theme of the fifth day was Universal Human Values, and the eminent speakers of the day were Professor Dr. Sandeep Rana, Guru Jumbeshwar University, Haryana, and Dr. Arvind Sharma from Gangadhar Meher University, Odisha. The theme of the sixth day was Life and Character Skills, and the eminent speakers were Dr. Priyanka from Amity University, Gurugram, and Professor Dr. Reena Nigam from Symbiosis, Noida. And today morning, we had Professor Dr. Amit Saren, who spoke in detail about student mentoring and academic integrity. Altogether, FDP was an enriching experience that helped us upskill and upgrade ourselves as per the contemporary demand. So I thank all the dignitaries present here and heartfelt thanks to all the participants who joined us during the faculty development program. Thank you. Thank you. This was the report which I wanted to present before all of you. Thank you for being a part of this FDP program. Thank you. Moving forward, I would now like to invite our guest of honor, Professor Dr. Arun Kumar Saini, Associate Dean, Icfai Tech Jaipur, to share his thoughts with us. Now, before I hand over this session to him, I would like to give you a brief introduction about his academic achievements. Professor Dr. Arun Kumar Saini is currently working as Associate Dean at Icfai Tech Jaipur. His area of specializations are machine learning, artificial intelligence, and computer vision, computer architecture, etc. He is in the field of higher education for last 20 years. He did his MTech from prestigious Malvian National Institute of Technology, Jaipur, and PhD from National Institute of Technology, Kurukshetra. He has significant number of research papers in the field of computer science. He is one of the pioneers to establish Icfai Tech in Jaipur. Sir, it's really a great honor to have you on this platform, and I welcome you once again. And now the session is all yours. Over to you, Professor Dr. Arun Kumar Saini.
Thank you, Dr. Mukesh ji. Honorable
Yes,
Vice Chancellor, sir, Chief Guest Shri Mukesh Kumar Meena ji sir, Registrar sir, dignitaries, and other participants. Namaskar and a very good afternoon to one and all present here. Holistic development and outcome-based education in the light of NEP 2020, the topic of this faculty development program, in my opinion, it's one of the most relevant area in today's scenario and also the need of the hour. I must congratulate all the members of the organizing committee of the university for organizing this FDP on this interesting topic, which is the requirement of every good institution at present. The National Education Policy, that is NEP 2020, is a well-planned and decisive step towards recovering India's legacy of rich education system, described by Mahatma Gandhi ji as a beautiful tree, which we all need to revive again. It has a holistic vision of transforming the way children and youth will be educated to make learning a part of personal development while also serving the needs of the society. The policy brought together the best of the country's ancient heritage and the best of the modern learning together. It gives emphasis on moral education and awareness of Indian culture. A student coming out of such a system will have a higher degree of self-confidence and will also be better equipped to meet the challenges of the future. This new policy also takes into account what is needed to build a prosperous and self-reliant nation. For this, the higher education system must enable equity, expertise, and empowerment. As Nobel laureate Sir C.V. Raman had put it, higher education institutions should lead the nation towards knowledge expansion and economic growth. That is precisely is the thrust of this new NEP 2020. It was a matter of great satisfaction that India's higher education system has expanded to reach out to serve the rural and marginalized sections. It has thus become the third largest education system in the world. As India achieves more economic growth and more equity, the world is eagerly turning to us to learn more and more. Each of us has the capacity to write the next chapter in this India. With the support of holistic and outcome-based education, the aim will be to increase the gross enrollment ratio in higher education, including the vocational education, from 27% to 50% by 2035. The present very complicated and complex nomenclature of higher education institutions in the country, such as deemed to be university, affiliating technical university, etc., shall be replaced simply by the university. University means a multidisciplinary institution that offers undergraduate and postgraduate programs with high quality teaching, research, and community engagement with holistic educational culture. Even engineering institutions such as IITs will move towards more holistic and multidisciplinary education with more arts and humanities. Students of arts and humanities will aim to learn more science. The world is experiencing multiple transitions at a very rapid pace, be it in education or corporate space. At a volatile time like this, the demand for T-shaped skills or T-shaped persons is extremely high. The T-shaped model is essentially a metaphor used in job recruitment to describe the abilities of a person in the workforce. The vertical bar on the letter T represent the depth of the knowledge and expertise in a single field, the person in which he is or she is pursuing the career right now. Whereas the horizontal bar comprises the ability of one to collaborate across disciplines. That is what we call the multidisciplinary approach, and to apply knowledge in parallel areas of expertise. That is basically the skills. Change is the only constant today, and with it comes the need for education system to update and adapt their approach or risk becoming absolute altogether. Outcome-based education, that is OBE, is a pedagogical model that entails the restructuring of curriculum, pedagogy, and assessment practices to reflect the achievement of high-order learning as opposed to a mere accumulation of course credits. While the traditional education system focuses on what is taught, OBE places emphasis on what is learned out of the classroom, and that is the distinction is very important. The latter is a student-centric model that incorporates real-world scenario into the mix. The knowledge, the skill, and the attributes that students take away at the end of program or course are more valuable than what or how something is taught in the classroom. A traditional education system relies heavily on standardized processes, wherein students assemble under one roof at a particular time to be instructed by a teacher. After the completion of a lecture, learners interact with peers or clear doubts with the faculty members. This means the effectiveness of the education system largely depends upon the efficacy of the teacher and the knowledge base of the peers. Whereas in case of outcome-based education, on the other hand, is an education system built on specific outcomes. It focuses on the skill sets students to acquire following the completion of their studies. Activities in or outside the classroom are designed in a manner so as to help students achieve these outcomes. The course outcome, program specific outcome, and the program educational objective determine exactly what students are expected to accomplish post their course or program respectively. This clarity is further reflected in the quality of teaching and delivery across divisions and departments, where faculty may adjust their focus more appropriately. The next advantage, and perhaps the most obvious one, is the flexibility. Outcome-based education empowers students to choose what they would like to study and how they would like to study it. Not only does it adapt to a learner's strength and weaknesses, but it also provides sufficient time to attain proficiency and fluency in the subject matter. But as we know, whenever any new policy comes into the picture, it also comes with the challenges. So the most difficult part with the NEP 2020, or especially with the outcome-based education, is how are we going to practically implement it in the universities or institutions. The first and more foremost is the aspect of interpretation. The framework lacks a perspective set of instructional design. While outcomes are clearly demonstrated, there is also much room for interpretation. Plus, with the amount of jargon present, it is easy to get caught up in the technical phrases rather than focus on the meaning behind each one. Constructing learning outcomes can also be difficult as well as time consuming. This brings us to next drawback. And that's why you need to organize these FDBs more frequently. We need to understand the things in a better way. OBE works well with vocational education system streams like engineering and sciences, which the arts. The latter includes subjects such as literature and philosophy that requires a more free-flowing structure. But perhaps the biggest disadvantage relate to the aspect of the assessment. Paper pencil sort of test don't bring out the best in object-based, outcome-based education system. Yes, it requires diversified kind of assessments from group projects to the continuous quizzes sort of thing. So just to summarize, outcome-based education will be standing at the threshold of a new world, one where a student will be required to navigate an ever-changing global landscape. Here is what we can expect: an increasing number of students seeking newer skills to propel their career further, high demand for vocational training, flexible degrees, competency-based program. What's more we need in this educational system. So once again, congratulations and best wishes to all the participants to implement their learnings in the institutions or universities. So Mukesh, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for such an enlightening session, and your words are really encouraging, and you have very well explained us the different prospects of holistic development and outcome-based education. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for joining us. I wish you remain for another half an hour with us so that you could hear the opinion of our participants, what they have learned over these 7 days and what is their experience over these 7 days. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Moving ahead, am I audible? Hello.
Yes, you are audible.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, you are
Fine, sir. Fine. Moving ahead, I would now like to invite our chief guest, Shri Mukesh Kumar Meena ji, RS Officer, JDA Deputy Commissioner, Jaipur, to kindly give his deliberations. But before I invite Shri Mukesh Kumar Meena, let me introduce him to all of you. Shri Mukesh Kumar Meena ji is an accomplished administrator and efficient RAS officer of 2006 batch. He is currently posted as Deputy Commissioner, Jaipur Development Authority, JDA Jaipur. He has also worked before at various eminent positions in the capacity of Zone Commissioner in Nagar Nigam Jaipur, ADM in Directorate of Local Bodies, DC in Food and Civil Supply. From the year 2006 to 2012, he has worked as sub-divisional magistrate in various districts of Rajasthan. Sir, it's a matter of great pride to have you with us. I am really thankful to you for taking out your time from your busy schedule to be the chief guest of this valedictory session. This reflects your concern for teachers and teaching community at large. Thank you so much, sir. for being with us. I will now hand over the session to you. Over to you, Shri Mukesh Kumar Meena ji.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Mukesh. First of all, good morning to every participant. I am very thankful to University of Engineering and Management, Jaipur, for inviting me as chief guest on the valedictory session of this 7 days faculty development program on the holistic development and outcome-based education in the light of new education policy 2020. Thank you for this. I'm sure all the participants had a good learning experience throughout these 7 days. Also, the topic is so relevant that it needs to be discussed and understood for our own welfare and development. Many congratulations to FDP program, especially to Professor Dr. Mukesh Yadav, who made all of efforts to conduct this faculty development program. New Education Policy 2020 endorses holistic development of learners, not only for the school education, but also in higher education. The policy aims, as discussed by all of you in last 7 days, producing engaged, productive, and contributing citizens for building an equitable, inclusive, plural society as envisaged by our Constitution. Holistic development of learners as suggested in New Education Policy 2020 is like curriculum content will be reduced in each subject to its core essentials to make space for critical thinking and more holistic, discovery-based, discussion-based, and analysis-based learning. Holistic development and a wide choice of subjects and courses year to year will be the new distinguishing feature of secondary school education. There will be no hard separation among curricular, extracurricular, co-curricular areas, among arts, humanities, science, between vocational and academic streams. Concerned curriculars and pedagogical initiatives at relevant stage will be undertaken to develop these various important skills in the student of all levels. The aim of assessment of the culture of our education system will shift from one that preliminary tests not memorization skills to one that is more formative, is more competency based, promotes learning and development for our students, and tests higher order skills such as analysis, critical thinking, and conceptual clarity. I think these are important changes brought in New Education Policy 2020, which will go a long way to bringing significant changes in the higher education sector in India. In the end, I would say that faculty is the lifeblood of any institution. They are directly responsible for delivering the top of the line knowledge and training your students. It's their passion, hard work, and academic interactions that help uphold the reputations your institutions was empower them to provide the best education for students. You need to invest in the best training teachers more effectively. Students perform better in the classrooms, and when students excel, institutions thrive. Cultivating a culture of continual learning will benefit all aspects of your institutions. I really appreciate conducting such faculty development program, and I once again congratulate all the faculty members, all our India for successfully completing this FDP. Thank you, all of you. Especially thanks a lot to Dr. Mukesh Kumar Yadav to invite me as a chief guest. Thank you very much.
Dr. Mukesh, are you there? Professor Sharma, you may kindly take over. I don't think Dr. Mukesh has lost. I think he has lost his connection.
Yes, sir. I hope. Yeah. Mukesh is not there. Thank you very much, sir. It was very enlightening listening your words. I thanks Dr. A.K. Saini, Mukesh sir, for joining this valedictory session, and all the members over here, all the participants, teachers who have taken forward this step towards a new education policy. Implementation of this policy definitely will see an improvement in the enrollment, gross enrollment ratio, which is the target of this, as well as definitely it can be beneficial for all the stakeholders of the higher education institutions. This FDP has already been informed that more than 300 participants were there from all over India, and it was, we can say, kind of successful, because it will depend that how the participants will implement these learnings into their institutions. We wish all the best for future endeavors for all the participants, and definitely University of Engineering and Management Jaipur will continue with all kinds of you can say initiative as far as conducting new initiative, new learnings. Yeah. I hope Mukesh has joined. Dr. Yadav, are you there? You are muted. You are muted.
Sorry, sir, there was some internet issue. I mean, it's
Not
really
an issue. Please
Yeah.
continue. Please
Yeah.
continue.
So thank you. I think the chief guest has just completed his speech, right?
Yes, we were waiting for you. Please.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Dr. Saab. Thank you very much to invite me as a chief guest.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for
Give me a very good chance to interact with all respected participants.
Thank you, Mukesh sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for joining, and thank you for sharing your thoughts with us. Thank you. Thank you so much. You are doing a great service to the nation. We do realize it. Thank you so much, sir. Okay, moving ahead, I would now move on to the next level of our valedictory session, where I would now like to invite our dear participants who have been with us for last 7 days, and they have had a good time of learning and knowing new things. So I would request among the participants, if those who are interested, to share their experiences with us. over to you, dear participants. You can just raise your hand and you can share your experience with us. So, if so, Dr. Snehlata ma'am is there. Hello. Yes, yes, ma'am. Please
Yes,
go
sir.
ahead.
Good afternoon.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Good afternoon, all. And I congratulate to the organizing team of this FDP for providing us all the opportunity to, you can say, groom ourselves in relation to this new education policy, which is guiding us for the outcome-based methodology and approaches. Even our aptitude should be of that type. So this complete FDP was organized in such a way with the scheduled sessions that we teachers got the opportunity to receive the technicalities and the actual gist of this national education policy of India, which has to be implemented. And we got to know many of the technicalities which we were not knowing earlier. And at the same time, also there were certain schedules and the sessions and the efficient resource persons who even guided us in a manner that how all these, we can say, these goals of this national education policy could be achieved. So for that reason, even the teachers need to have some, we can say, positive aptitude, approach. Even the teachers need to groom themselves at their knowledge level, even at their aptitude level of teaching in the classes. And even there were certain sessions in which we were guided about that how even we can groom our students, or we can promote our students to be a better citizen, to be a better professional, and to be a better human being at the same time, because it is all about human and human society, education and rest, everything, professionalism, everything is related to. So the sessions and the efficient resource persons guided us in a very efficient manner with so much of, we can say, so much of affinity that definitely we will take all these learnings in our classroom, in our institutions, to create much better environment and to create much better learning in the classes. So thank you all again to the organizing team of University of Engineering and Management, Jaipur, for providing a certain platform to groom ourselves or to update ourselves in relation to whatever government or the officials are trying to get out of our higher education system. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am, for your such encouraging words. Definitely, it will go a long way in further organizing our future faculty development programs. Thank you. Thank you so much. Now, Dr. Yogesh Kumar Jakar, sir, has raised his hand. Over to you, Dr. Yogesh.
Okay, thank you, sir. So good afternoon to one and all present here. It was a very happy moment for me to enroll myself and to be provide my feedback on 7 days faculty development program on holistic development and outcome-based education in the light of NEP 2020. It was really a nice experience to be part of this FTP program. This FTP program was really amazing and very informative, and it was a great learning experience for me. This FTP was beautifully executed to bring eminent speakers together on a online platform to provide outstanding knowledge on NEP. I wish to be a part of such program in near future. Thank you. Thank you. One
Thank
and
you.
all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for your encouraging words.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Direction, if you are listening, please go ahead if you to share your experiences.
Yes, sir. A very good afternoon to all of you. This
Yes.
is Dr. Daraksha.
Yes, ma'am.
I am from Shibli National College, Azamgarh, UP.
Right.
So, it was nice to hear all the speakers, resource person. Actually, I had been a faculty at Amity University, Jaipur. So I had some attachment with Jaipur and Rajasthan. So that's
Right.
why I joined this session. And on my special request, sir has added me in spite on the last day. So I'm thankful to you, sir, that you added me as a participant in this program. So it was nice to hear about the NEP because we are still very much confused about the NEP policies and the outcomes and all these things. So we are learning through it and it has added a lot to my new learning. So on the behalf of all the participants and a special thanks to sir that you added me in this and I gained a lot of things with this workshop.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It's so encouraging to hear such positive comments from the participants. Thank you so much. Dr.
Thank you,
Naveen,
sir.
thank you, ma'am. Dr. Naveen, you would like to add?
Good afternoon to all of you. This is Dr. Naveen from Government College, Dujana, Jhajjar. I congratulate the whole team for organizing such a wonderful activity, and especially I congratulate Dr. Mukesh ji for handling the FDP very nicely. He has arranged intelligentsia all over India for our learning experience, and absolutely we have learned a lot. And I again congratulate Dr. Mukesh and the whole team for organizing such a wonderful FDP. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Naveen. Your words are really positive, and your words will really help us and to organize further such FDPs. Noel Daliwala, would you like to add something? Okay, anyone, you could raise your hand if Anbu Mozi. I'm just taking names randomly. Anbu Mozi, would you like to add something? Or just one last participant and then we'll, anyone, okay, Mr. Gaurav Goswami, I request you to share your experiences.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Firstly, I would like to state that this was my first experience of a faculty development program, and I'm immensely enriched by the entire experience. I got to hear such scholarly speeches and such scholarly presentations about the implementation of the NEP. I got to know what exactly outcome-based education means, and I also got to learn how to implement the course structure, how to think about course outcome. All of these things are very new to me. I'm extremely fortunate that this could be my first experience. I look forward to joining many such faculty development programs, and I hope I could enrich myself. I thank all the speakers, and I also thank Professor Mukesh sir, for organizing this, and I also thank the entire administration of the university who could make it possible for this FDP to be organized. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Gaurav sir, for such encouraging words. MP Rajesh sir from SRM IST, please go ahead, sir.
Can you hear me? I hope you can hear.
Yes, sir. We can hear you.
Good afternoon to all the participants. This is Professor MP Rajesh from SRM Institute of Science and Technology in Chennai. At the outset, I want to congratulate Dr. Mukesh Yadav for putting together an excellent faculty development program. But I want to just comment about how good it was by pointing out the theme. you look at the theme, there are three key phrases. First one, holistic. Second one, outcome-based education. Third one, NEP. So in case, if you're wondering how all these things are tied together, they were done in a very excellent manner, because if you look at this outcome-based education and how it's relevant to NEP, we just need to go a little bit back further to see how this outcome-based education has emerged as a key element in school as well as college education. To start with, initially we had what would call as input-based education, because at that time, what the thinking was that if you have very good infrastructure, good teaching faculty, good facilities, then automatically good education is ensured. But this was turned out to be not true. Later on, people started, academicians started thinking that it is because of the processes that are followed. So if you have a good process with a good certification, especially from ISO, then automatically it was considered that a good education can be imparted, which also did not turn out to be true. So that is when people started realizing that it is that we should focus on the outcomes of this education and try to attain the outcomes so that we can ensure good education. So that is why many of the accrediting agencies are now focusing on outcome-based education, especially in India. AICTE and UGC are now slowly moving towards outcome-based education, even though we are much late when compared to what is being practiced abroad. So looking at this and also looking at the new education policy 2020, which has been envisaged by the government, I think we are on the right track. So we are really over the next generation a much better education so that they emerge as good citizens. So looking at all these aspects of holistic education, which actually imparts both technical as well as professional skill sets, are very important for the next generation. So Dr. Mukesh Yadav, if you look at his the breakup of this talks which were there, they actually have a mix of both technical as well as professional. So to start off with, there was we had talks about human values, professional ethics, then about universal human values, soft skills, life and character skills. So all these actually deal with the professional skills, so which are very important, but also important are the technical skills. So that is where the sessions I was leading dealt with research and emerging trends in research. These are all very, actually contributed to the technical part of this talk. So overall, all these things put together actually do indeed provide a holistic overview of what is required for outcome-based education in India. And I hope that this new education policy will actually really prime this holistic education at the school level as well as the college level. And I take this opportunity to wish, congratulate Dr. Mukesh Yadav and wish for more such FDPs in the future. Thank you. Have a nice afternoon.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for such an elaborative feedback about this session. Thank you about this FDP. Thank you so much. Dear participants, I could see some more hands being raised, but we have to finish it on time. So I would take an excuse from you. You could write your experiences in the feedback form, or you could write email to us about the feedback of this faculty development program. So moving ahead, we have come to the last part of this FDP, that is vote of thanks, and I take this opportunity to present formal vote of thanks to one and all present here. So if you see this, an event like 7 days faculty development program cannot happen overnight. It requires meticulous planning, and the wheels started rolling weeks ago. And I have been fortunate enough to be backed by a team of highly proactive members and dedicated staff. Ladies and gentlemen, at the very outset, I am extremely thankful to our today's chief guest, Shri Mukesh Kumar Meena ji, Deputy Commissioner JDA, Jaipur, and Shri Arun Kumar Saini ji, Associate Dean, Icfai Tech, Jaipur, for their gracious presence and insightful deliberations, which made this event an intellectual treat. A special thanks to our Honorable Chancellor, Sir, Professor Dr. Satyajit Chakravarti, and Honorable Pro Vice Chancellor, Sir, Professor Dr. Satyavit Chakravarti for their kind support and encouragement for organizing such academic activities. I'm also thankful to our Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. Vishwajoy Chatterjee, Registrar Professor Dr. Pradeep Sharma, and Dean Academics Professor Dr. Anirudh Mukherjee for showing faith in us and providing all the needed guidance and support to conduct this event. Truly speaking, sir, you remained the catalyst that stimulated us to be at our best. Without the sweat and meticulous efforts by the staff and Department of Basic Sciences and Humanities, it would not have been possible to actualize this event. I am extremely thankful to all the faculty members of Department of Basic Sciences and Humanities for being such a support and doing all the duties in an efficient manner. I am extremely thankful to all of them. A special mention and thanks to the technical and support staff involved throughout this 7 days of faculty development program. My heartfelt gratitude goes out to all the session speakers, faculty members, and participants from all across the country for their participation, well wishes, encouragement throughout this 7 days of FDP. Dear faculty members, you are the real achievers. It is you who made this event successful. So a big thank you to each one of you. Your presence actually made this event successful and memorable. Just a small announcement I would like to make, that all the session speakers as well as the participants, you will be getting certificates over a period of 3 to 4 days. So I would request you not to write us before 3-4 days. At least wait for next 3-4 days, and you will get your certificates on your individual emails. In case you don't get it on 4th day from now, you could write to us, and I am always available to reach you out. So with that, I thank you everyone for being the part of this faculty development program and make it successful. So on behalf of University of Engineering and Management, I wish you all happiness, success, and prosperity. Thank you. Thank you to all our eminent guests. Thank you to all our FDP participants and faculty members who have joined all across India. Here, I would also like to thanks to SRM University. So SRM University, from the number of registrants we have a majority of them from SRM University, from Chennai campus, Ramanapuram campus, and Katankalattur campus. So they have, obviously there are other participants from different parts of India, but I am naming them because they joined in a big number. So thank you all of you for being a part of this faculty development program, and we had a very learning and great experience being with you. Thank you, each one of you. We can now sign off for the day, and thank you everyone once again. Thank you everyone. We can leave the meeting now.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you everyone.